Good evening. I am Elizabeth Bloodsworth. I teach fourth and fifth grade inclusion special ed. Um, the first question, the four dispositions that teachers have that I would like for teachers to say about myself. I chose open minded, flexible, passionate, and invested. The reason I chose open minded was I feel like for my fourth and fifth grade special education kids, we always have to be open minded. Things change quickly. We have to adapt and always being open minded to try new things with them that'll hopefully click and help them as many ways as possible. Flexible, again, kind of piggybacking off the same thing. We're always flexible to try new things. Um, we're always flexible when something changes within the school day or something didn't work and we need to try a new way of teaching content or a math standard to be specific. I feel like we're always flexible. The third one was passionate. I have been following my special education children for 2 years now. So this is actually my third year with them. And I'm very passionate when it comes to them. I fight for them, I work with them. I'm passionate about them learning and just believing in them each day, which leads me to invested. The fifth graders that I have, like I said, I've had them. This is my third year, so I know how they work. I know the best way to teach them. I know what helps, what doesn't help. Um, so I'm definitely invested with those students and love working with them each day. So moving on to question number 2, the metaphor to describe me as a teacher leader. So I did have to kind of research this a little bit, just kind of thinking with what fits for me, and I feel like it's gardener. And the reason I chose gardener, specifically, it was like a wildflower garden because so many of my special education students, they're all different. They all learn different ways. They all grow at different rates. Um, some are happy, some get frustrated, and I feel like every flower in the garden is different, just like my special education kids. Every one of them is different, and you have to learn to adapt. And we all give them as much water as they need as we would for a flower garden. So I kind of felt like that fit with my personality and my 18 children that I teach every day. So moving on to question number 3, the metacognition. Why do you feel it is important to strengthen or develop your own metacognition thinking skills as it relates to adults at school? So my main thing about metacognition, trying to find the paper, sorry, is metacognition starts with me. And basically, it's the understanding of one's own thought processes. So everyone thinks different. For example, this year we have a student that is blind, and that is something that I've never taught a blind student before. And the general ed teacher, it says math class in 5th grade, we just kind of put our thoughts together and we decided to have him, just complete 3 problems instead of 8. And I feel like that it's just learning how each other thinks. Like, I was actually going to hopefully get him to do all 8 problems, and she said, no, let's just do a couple. So I feel like that really helped him. Teacher leaders must have self-knowledge about what they and other teachers have learned and understand how they learn to direct their own learning and that of others. We all bring different things to the table. And I feel like it's important to know what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, and working with your co-teacher to know their strengths and weaknesses, and then that way you can have a better team together. um Moving to number 4, about the generations. So I'm in the middle between the baby boomers and the millennials. So I was born in 1984. um so I am the Gen Xers. um the strengths that the other two generations have that make them unique. The baby boomers, I feel like what I've seen in teaching, they're very set in their ways. They've been teaching forever. They do things the same way, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. Being old school can be very good, but it can also, that times have changed. And we have a couple teachers in our building that still teach the way they always have. And so there's definitely strengths there, but there's also some ways that they need to adapt to the new life that everyone's living now. The millennials, I feel like they are. It makes me think about just how tech savvy they are. I know some new students. I mean, some new teachers at our school. They know so many new things that I thought I was pretty tech savvy until they came along and taught us some new things. They are very knowledgeable, and they have more information, and they know how to differentiate better. They use the new technology and terms that have, come about just the past few years in their classrooms, and they're very open-minded. Um, so I feel like there's strengths and weaknesses to each. So when you're trying to work with those teachers, working with a baby boomer teacher who has been teaching forever is hard, because some things need to be tweaked. Some things need to be taught a different way, just besides paper, pencil, or, just note taking and lectures. And then the millennials, their strengths, I feel like they're just more apt to change, and that can be good as well. So I think that was all of the questions. So thank you very much. Goodbye.